Welcome back to the Patriot Fan Zone. I had to think there for a second. And Morgan, I apologize. I'm playing hurt. My brain is Swiss cheese. I don't know what I caught while I was up in Kansas, but I brought some germ back with me, and I'm grinding through. So, which I'm telling this to a lady who's 8 months.
Almost 38 weeks.
Almost 38 weeks pregnant. So I should just shut up and not say anything. But this lady who has a really good basketball team who hasn't technically clinched, and it's very confusing. I'm very good at writing. I'm not good at math. The easiest way to say this is you guys have complete control of what you can accomplish in your hands right now.
Yes.
Fair to say?
Yes.
Because they went to Levelland. They beat Levelland before at home, which was a big win. Then they went to Levelland last night and not only beat Levelland, but had the game pretty much in control for quite a while. And what did you just tell me about your defense there while we were talking before we came on?
We kind of looked earlier, and I think we held them to one field goal until the end. But they had 23 points with about a minute and a half left. And then we gave up, we fouled a shooter, and then a girl hit a three at the buzzer. So really, until that last 5 points, they had between 20 and 23 for most of the fourth quarter. So
it's hard to win. It's hard to not win a game when you're playing defense the way your girls have played in the two games against Levelland, but consistently ever since. And I know we've talked about it a lot before. All those games against those great teams early didn't turn out the way you wanted, but you gained a lot from them, and I think that's where that defense comes from.
Just, we still have some girls trying to figure out their identity, become natural scorers on offense. And just the way I was raised in the area I grew up in, you may not have the best night offensively, but my dad always said, if you're breathing, you can play defense. And I've heard that since I was little, and now that I'm a coach, I 100% believe it. We may not have that. We haven't had a great shooting night against a good team. Levelland didn't shoot the ball great. We scored more from the inside finally, but we just talk about if we can defend people the way we want. And in district, besides Estacado that first time, we've stayed around 30 points, and that's our goal every night. So I just feel like if you can defend, you're going to accomplish a lot, and you're going to be able to beat good teams, not having to worry about scoring 60 points a game.
Your cohort, Parker Hicks, made a good point. Because they played Liberty Girls type defense last night against Levelland, and he said all we had to do was score 29 points and we would have gotten a win because they gave up 28. It's weird to think that way, but you don't have to score a ton because you just don't. You're just very stingy.
That's just one of our goals. Is we set a few goals before the game, and turnovers. We set how many turnovers we can allow, but points allowed is something that we talk heavily about, and that is one thing that we emphasize. You can't give up 40 points and win a basketball game, and even 40 points isn't a ton, but 30 to 35 is our main target. And I feel like, even against Levelland, our first time it was 35, and we've done tremendous holding them under 35, and especially last night. So that is that's just kind of our identity. We said it last year, struggled with it some last year, but, as we've matured and made it our actual identity and emphasized it. And, I think they all know now that if you want to be on the floor, you're going to defend. The shooting and shot selection, we'll keep advancing in that, and I feel like it's gotten a ton better. The IQ will come, but our identity is going to be defense. We will guard you. And
watching your girls, it's not like you're not playing four corners on offense. It's not like you're methodical. And I say that because I think having Abby Dallas as your quarterback is a perfect fit because she doesn't get rattled.
No.
You can almost see her thinking, if that makes sense. When you watch her play, you can see the wheels spinning. She knows what needs to be done, and she knows how to get her teammates in the right spots.
I just think it's knowing the personalities and, how athletic we are. We're athletic and we can jump and we can move pretty well, but we're not a fast, just get out and go 90 miles an hour. That's just not who we are. And when we play that way, we don't get anything good out of it. So we've really had to work on understanding shot selection and, what's a bad shot versus a good shot. And if we shoot every time 6 seconds into our possession, it's going to be a turnover because we don't shoot a high percentage right now. So we've just tried to understand what we thrive on, and that's just, playing our pace, which is a little bit slower of a pace, defending well, and then making sure that we get the best shot every time on offense.
And that seems to be working because Liberty is 7-1 in district.
Yes.
7-1 in district with 2 games to go. They have fate in their hands. We'll be back more to talk about the Lady Patriots after this break on the Patriot Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score.
Bringing you the latest news from Liberty Athletics. This is the Patriot Fan Zone podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back into the second segment of the Patriot Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score. I am Randy Rosetta. I'm with Liberty girls basketball coach Morgan Glaspie, whose team took a huge step towards winning the first district championship in basketball in school history. Like I said, I'm not going to get into the math. If you guys win Friday at Estacado, and that's a challenge, that's the one team that's beaten you in district. I think this makes sense. If you win that game, you can do no worse than tie for district.
Yes.
And you have the weird way playoffs are now. You're already guaranteed the number 1 seed in a small bracket. Mm-hmm. So you've already got some hay in the barn.
Yes.
I'm going to guess, again, getting to know you and getting to know your girls a little bit, you'd like to accomplish a little bit more.
We talked about it last week. It's kind of, with how everything works now, it's kind of weird. We've already done our job. Our goal of getting the 1 seed in the small school division is done. We took care of that when we beat Snyder, but that's not, you still have to work for your overall goal. And when the season started, one of the goals we set is that this year, with the experience we have and, the expectations we have, the winning district is we weren't going to settle for less than that. And so, I don't think they believed me at first that it was possible. And so now that we're kind of to that point and they've played Levelland twice and beat them, their faces are kind of like, holy cow, we actually can do this. So it's been kind of nice to see some reward for them. But that's just what we talked about. We've done our job. We've gotten the 1 seed, but that doesn't mean we can't expect more from ourselves. So that's our goal going into Friday. And I really, not only, for you, but I want it for them. They've worked hard, and they were 1-9 at one point and never phased them. They didn't have bad attitudes. They came into work every day, and it's paid off. So I'm hoping that we can win a gold ball for them.
I think Abby's the only volleyball girl. I know Reagan played as a freshman.
Yes, Alyssa and Bailey were on varsity last year volleyball. So
okay, so they got a taste for it. Mm-hmm. And that's important. That's done nothing but help you. Just
experience. We kind of talked about that too the first year, Coach Damel and I, that it's just different when you only have one person who has played in a playoff game or been around it, and that's Abby. So I just think we've gained a lot of experience from some of the younger ones that we didn't have last year. Last year it was kind of a shell shock. Like our first district game, we didn't play well, and it was kind of having to explain, like, okay, this matters. This is district now, so it's not okay to lose. And so this year we haven't had to deal with that. They've known when to show up, when you have to show up, and we didn't against Estacado the first time. But you can just kind of tell in our attitude now that we understand how we slipped the first time, and hopefully they respond on Friday.
Although I'll take you back to that Estacado game. I didn't think you played horribly. You just couldn't throw the ball in the ocean.
We watched it today, and I told them, I said, just remember, this is very frustrating to watch, and it's crazy. We gave up too many points. We talked about that. But even on offense, we just got real scattered, and there wasn't a lot of chemistry in our offense that we've ran for 2 years. And, the girls kind of forgot because someone would make a great take to the basket, and we'd break a layup. And they kind of were joking, but kind of realized, like, holy smokes, we did not do what we were supposed to against Estacado the first time. So hopefully we put the ball in the basket a little bit more.
And that Estacado, especially then, you'd come off the Levelland game and their methodical style. And we talked before that game that Estacado is the total opposite. They're frenetic. They want to speed up. Now they didn't shoot that great either against you guys, but they have. Remember, they had maybe twice as many shots. So they're more. What Billy Tubbs used to say, that the more shots you get, or I can't remember how he put it. He basically wanted a shot every 5 seconds or whatever. But seeing that style, now that your girls have seen that style and the way that what they have to be ready for, how much more confident are you that they're ready for it?
I completely am 100% confident that they're ready. The first time we kind of emphasized we don't need to get into a track meet with them. That's their style of play, and that's what they thrive on, is turnovers and, run and gun a little bit and shooting fast. And like we said earlier, that's just not what we're successful at. We could do it, but we're going to turn the ball over a lot and we're going to take bad shots. And so we just kind of watched on film today how out of control we got. And when we tried to match that, we weren't successful at it. So hopefully we saw that on film and we fix that and play our game and take our shots and defend a little better.
That is 6:15 p.m. Friday at Estacado. We'll be back next week on the High School Fan Zone on Monday night with the LISD schools. I'm Randy Rosetta, and this is 100.7 The Score.